Episode 19. Welcome everybody to the Fresh Towels podcast, live here on tape in New York City. What is that in your voice, Jiggy? Did you just get hit by the Shinkansen? No, I've been traveling for a week and I fell asleep on the plane yesterday and woke up congested in my nose holes. I feel great, but I am congested. Does that ever happen to you, Mike?
Absolutely, all the time.
I feel like the fluid, like maybe my brain cells, they float down into my nose and get stuffed in there because you wake up groggy like you've lost some brain cells.
I've never slept on a plane, I tell you that.
You can't sleep on a plane?
Cannot, will not. I wish I could, I can't.
The most embarrassing thing to happen on a plane sleeping is when you wake up and the people around you that you travel with said that your head was bobbing up and down. That is so embarrassing.
But why? Why is that?
Because this was like a long flight yesterday, or longer, domestic. It was a 3-hour flight. I woke up and Joe said my head was bobbing the entire flight. You know, when you sleep like this, I try to like nestle my neck into the seat cushion, you know, so I nestle it back there and then I fall asleep. And in my head, when I wake up, I have not moved. I'm a gentle sleeping beauty on the plane. But in reality, what's going on when I fall asleep is my head bops down and then I catch it. Then my head bops down and you catch it for hours and hours. That's so embarrassing.
The one or two times I've slept on a plane. One was coming back from Vegas by myself, and
overnight flight. They do a lot of overnights.
Yeah, and I fell asleep. I woke up with my head resting on the lady's shoulder next to me.
Oh, the best.
Mortified.
The best.
And as soon as I woke up, I was like, oh my God, I am so sorry. She goes, it's okay, sweetheart, get back there if you want. I was like, what? Right back to sleep.
Right back to sleep. And then you wake up and you're like, why does my neck hurt? It's because I've been giving myself whiplash from Oklahoma to New York every 5 seconds. Like the whole weight of your head, which if you look at the weight of one's head, it's like people have like a 10-pound head.
Well, apparently you've never seen Jerry Maguire. Human head weighs 8 pounds. It's a famous line.
But that's like your head it's got to be
all
way.
Right. Okay.
What? Your head weighs more than mine.
Why do you say that? Because of
you have a bigger head.
Because of the brains?
We don't know what's inside. You may have a thicker skull.
All the wrinkles in my brain for all the knowledge I have.
What size hat do you wear? Like a fitted cap?
Well, I don't know.
You got to be in the 8s, bro.
No, I think I'm like the 7 and 5/6 or something.
I didn't know they made that.
I definitely have the look right here. So I'm the second to last
notch.
What are you? Turn your head around there.
I'm like
you small-headed. Oh my God.
I'm like regular notch. I feel like I have the average size head.
My dad's the last notch, and it's got to be like a wide fit hat too.
Do you think all the people who write the tags on it, it's like one size fits all? They see your dad and they're like, oh shit.
This is me on your size.
Yeah, see, you got a bigger head. My assumptions were correct.
Massive noodle, bud.
You got a big head. So like if your head, when you sleep on a plane, if your neck has that neck thing where you neck down, you got 10 pounds of brain. It's going down to the earth.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. I don't think gravity's helping you up there.
So I saw somebody invented a thing where you put it around the back of the head, back of the headrest, and you like basically strap your head in.
Strap your head.
So you don't go forward.
I like that.
It's pretty cool. I mean, it's definitely...
I'd strap into a plane.
I've always wanted to get that big blow-up thing that you put on your... Bless you. That you used to see in the Sky Mall magazines.
Oh, no, I would never do that.
And you blow it up in your lap and then you put your face in it. Oh.
That was the funniest thing when they put their head into the... And it was always a middle seat. In the Sky Mall magazine, the guy who had it was in a middle seat.
If I was in an aisle seat or a window seat, that is, and I saw someone blowing that up, I'd be like, buddy, take that shit somewhere else. What they don't tell you is that it works, but that's because by the time you blow it up, you've hyperventilated yourself to a blackout.
You actually just passed out there.
That's so funny.
They upgraded my seat to a first class seat. Ooh. Yeah, it was one of those no perk first class seats.
Okay, small, like 2x1 or whatever.
No perks. And like when I was a kid, up until about like a year and a half ago, I would always think that anyone who's in the first class seat gets full meals, silverware, tea service. Would you like the rack of lamb or lobster today? And then you don't realize that like 90% of first class tickets, it comes with nothing. It's like a bigger seat and you get to be at the front of the plane. That's it.
To me, that is lobster. Having a seat. It's not even a bigger seat. Me on a plane, is like my economy seat to me is a first class seat to you.
Right.
Because
That's
I
not
carry
really fair.
so much more square footage. So like when I go to a first class seat, I feel like a normal person on an airplane, which sucks.
Lightning bolt just hit me.
Go ahead.
Another great business idea.
Let's go. I'm going to Google it.
Jiggy's business ideas. We haven't had one of these in a few episodes.
What was the last one? It was party funerals?
Yeah, fun funerals.
Funerals.
Funerals, which was not a big hit online. People did not like this idea.
Well, people are just scared to death. Bunch
yeah,
of
they're
pussies.
just scared. They're scared of great ideas,
All right,
really.
the next. Hold on. Let's do a sound drop. The next Jiggy business idea. All right,
Okay,
what do
here
you
we
got?
go. It could be a derivative of a major airline. Maybe we sell it to a major airline. I think starting our own airline is a little bit of a stretch. We sell it to Delta.
Sure.
We do the first ever big and tall airline.
I already like this.
What?
I already like this.
A big and tall airline, okay? So all the seats are bigger. You might have to pay a little bit of a premium because it can fit less people in the plane, but it's less than a first class ticket on a regular plane. We do the first big and tall airline. You call it like Delta Plus.
Does that mean you just get premium? You get premium videos?
A big and tall airline. Think about it. It really makes sense. You definitely have people in this country who are on the big side,
Yeah.
for sure. And then you definitely have people who are like over 6'5" who would appreciate it as well.
Well, according to the presentperspective.com, Delta is the #1 airline for plus-size passengers.
I don't think that they have a big and tall airplane.
They don't. Norse Airlines is a newer Atlantic.
Norse, I know Norse.
They are all business class. There is no coach.
Wow.
But I've always had this idea. Maybe we can fold it in. Can I sell you? All right. Can I get in on this business?
Sure.
Okay. Now that I'm a partner, I think that airlines should seat by height and weight. So I think the first
That would never last. Can I have all the fatzos come to zone 1? Any tubbies out there, please load the plane in zone 1.
Well, let me tell you something.
If you're over 6'5",
if you
no way.
I disagree because I think this is the one instance where biggies and tallies like myself would happily get weighed or get measured at the front.
You can't put a scale before you get on a plane. No way would anyone do that.
But if somebody said, well, how about this? How about, what if instead, you know how they have like at Spirit Airlines and Frontier, you stuff your luggage?
You stuff your body.
What if they have like a little
an outline of like a person?
an outline of a person, and if you don't fit, you get first class. So you can like try to slide in, and if your belly touches.
Dude, this is the stupidest idea. No way anyone would do that.
But it's not necessarily first class because first class still gets first class. But I think they should have bigger seats,
The XL section.
XL seats that XL people get. So you don't get the first class experience. You don't get
So what? Okay,
pre-boarding.
let's
You
roll
just
with your
get-
idea.
Yeah,
Let's
go
roll
ahead.
with it a little bit.
Let's go.
Say you and me are a couple, which is not that far-fetched.
No,
So
I'm already liking it.
so you fit into the XL seat.
Yeah.
Well, now I can't fly with you? I can't fly with my hubby?
Do you think I give a fuck where you sit?
So you're
If
just
that
going to
means
ditch
I'm
me?
comfortable?
In
No.
our relationship, you're going to ditch me?
Sounds like you're ditching me, Bubby, and skinny. How about that? How were you ditching me on the appetizers? I got to finish them all by myself? How far are we taking
I don't
this?
think that your plan is realistic.
Of
You're
course
never going to
not.
be able to get someone inside of one of those things. I'm saying a big and tall airline is not that far-fetched.
So wait, you're telling me that okay, if you're going to start poking holes in my idea, let's start
Go
poking
ahead.
holes in yours. How do I book the flight? How do I get on a big and tall? How do they know I'm big and tall?
Well, big and tall does not discriminate. You don't have to be big and tall to
So
go on it.
you're suggesting that every seat is just a
Bigger?
first class size seat on
Yeah.
an airplane.
It's intended.
There we
Everyone,
go.
It's not called the big and tall airline.
Wait. How about we just have airlines treat people like humans, and everyone gets a seat big enough for a human being? There we go. I think we actually are onto something here.
I think that a big and tall airline does have a place in this country.
Absolutely.
I think that there is a place you could charge a slight premium, and everyone knows on the inside, like, okay, this is a big and tall airline, but it's just called like, Texas. The airline's called Texas Air,
What if it's called, instead of Delta, it's called Beta
something like that.
or Alpha? Ooh, Alpha Air.
Alpha Air.
Every time you go on there,
What's the
you
deal
got
with
to
this
pound
Alpha
your
Air?
chest.
I don't understand. The seats look beautiful. Oh yeah, well if you didn't know, that's the big and tall airline.
You have to just
It's intended for people who are over 6'5" and have a little winter weight,
a little junk in the trunk.
a little junk in the trunk, and then all the other airlines could be affiliates. So like Delta has someone who's didn't know about Alpha Air, and they go and buy 2 seats. They say, well, instead of buying 2 seats, why don't you go to our affiliate, Alpha Air?
Have you seen these new airline attempts at double decker?
Oh yeah, well it's a
Double-decker
seat
seats?
company. It's a seat company that thinks that you can like have double decker and you can lay flat.
I
and
think
all that
so.
stuff. I don't think that's ever going to work. No one's ever going to do that.
I think it can be done. I think it can be done. Let me ask you this:
It's proven that it can be done, but they have to like re-engineer the entire plane. They got to rip out all the seats. And
I
all
say
that.
you take out. You don't need the luggage above. If everyone could have a comfortable seat and room by double decking, and you just get rid of the fucking overhead
luggage?
compartment.
Well, they have under luggage, I think, in that.
Sure. Either way, I think it can be done, and I think airlines are just too big of wimps to give us something special and unique. Ryanair in Ireland.
Yep,
they
flown it.
They tried to. They attempted to make standing room seating on short hops across the
Stop it! You stand on the plane.
€5 tickets. They tried to do it where they were standing, and they never pulled the
Honestly,
trigger.
sometimes I feel more comfortable standing than sitting in some of these seats.
Well, the CEO said because they were criticizing him. He goes, I'll sell out standing room before anyone buys a seat on that airplane. He goes, it's not. I'm trying to make it as cheap as possible for people to fly while we stay in business. And
Okay.
if people can stand on short, like 30-minute hops, not long trips,
yeah.
and I can get more people on a
I would
plane, he
do
goes, I'll sell out every standing row before I sell a single seat. So don't tell me people don't want that.
I think it's not a bad idea.
I think it'd be pretty funny though. Hit a little turbulence.
Everyone's, well, how do you buckle up? You don't.
See, that's the thing. I don't know. Strap yourself to the wall.
You gotta you're just holding on. I've never had turbulence. All of that said, I've never had turbulence where like I thought if I wasn't seatbelted, I'd hit the ceiling.
I did.
Really?
Flying into Dallas, George Bush or Houston maybe. George Bush International. Whichever
What did he
city
do
that
to
is.
you? What did George do?
He perpetrated 9/11, and then I freaked out. Big wind bursts, microbursts at the airport, and as we were coming down, we were right over the runway. Big burst hit the wing, and it almost flipped like completely
Flipped the plane?
sideways. No, just went sideways where the wing almost hit the ground. And that sounds like an exaggeration, but when I got off, local news was there because a lot of
Really?
planes were having issues. They were like, "What happened?" They're like, "Oh my god, we almost crashed!" Like it was really bad. And after we landed, thankfully, a bunch of planes had to like circle until
around.
the wind stopped because it was almost throwing planes to the ground.
When I just flew in yesterday, LaGuardia is a tight landing area.
tight turn.
Sometimes like we're flying into LaGuardia and you look at the runway and it's like perpendicular to you and you're like, there's no way we're going to turn into this. And then they start to turn. You're like, this motherfucker's never going to make it.
Yeah, they bank around City Field.
Yeah, they'll bank around. And I'm like, how are we going to bank and straighten out to land this thing? LaGuardia has a tight circle. I don't know what they call it, like whatever the flight map is.
Sure.
It's really tight when they land in there. And it's pretty common that people, when you land into LaGuardia, you fucking land hard.
Yeah.
Because it's so tight. And that happened yesterday. Like, we're banking around. I'm like, this guy's not going to make it. Like, I thought that he was going to have to, like, go around again because we were banking around. And then we landed like a helicopter. You know? We didn't land like a plane, smooth.
Just dropped.
Yeah, we bank around. I'm like, he's going to have to go around again. And then just bang. It was like he hit whatever button and we just slammed down to the ground.
Hilarious. The slam down.
Delta would like to welcome you to LaGuardia. I'm like, everyone's like shook up and like the flight attendants like just woke up probably.
My buddy's a captain for American, and he says the absolute worst landing in all of America is LaGuardia.
Yeah.
He goes, every pilot hates it because it's just so.
It's a shorter runway.
It's so difficult. Yeah. It's just a pain in the ass of a runway.
That's another little pet peeve I have is I don't like when it's just cocky. When you're about to make your initial descent, so you got 30 minutes left in the flight.
Yeah.
And the captain comes on, hey, we're going to make our initial descent. and then the flight attendant goes and gives all the instructions.
Sure.
The seat's got to come back up. Make sure you fasten your seatbelt. If you got to use the bathroom, blah,
Tray
blah, 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 blah.
tables.
And we'd like to welcome you to New York. I'm like, we got a long way to go.
Yeah, we're not even. We're a quarter of the way left.
We got hundreds of miles to fly,
Yeah.
and it's a little cocky.
I don't like it either.
We'd like to welcome you to Dallas. Well, we're not there yet.
And also, the flight attendant repeats. This gentleman is your captain. We're making an initial descent into LaGuardia. We'll have you on the ground in about 30 minutes. Thanks for flying Delta. Ladies and gentlemen, as the captain just said, we are making our initials. We just fucking heard it.
Yeah.
I just heard it. I don't need to hear it again.
Yeah, they're in the cahoots up there.
Yeah. It's as if they're working together.
Get on the same page, people. We just heard it. The flight attendant yesterday gave so many instructions. It was like if she gave instructions like it was 1938 and it was everyone's first flight. She literally said, we're going to be exiting the airplane via a sky bridge. And then I'm like, what is she talking about? It's like the normal way you get off a plane. How else do you think? We think we were just going to jump off? You think we're going to use the ramps off the exit seat?
It was her first time flying.
I don't know what she's talking about. If you have a checked bag, it's going to be at the baggage carousel. Well, where else was it going to be? You just going to throw it into the tarmac?
At Trenton Airport, they just put it on the side of the plane because there is no baggage claim. I'll tell you this, it drives me out of my fucking mind when they make announcements on an airplane ever. And every time they engage the call button, like the flight attendant, it stops your movie.
Oh, I hate a movie
sometimes
stop.
that's fine. I know you got to do your job, but make the fucking announcement. Sorry, my language is salty today. Make the announcement.
I think
and then they let go because they're talking to the flight attendant, and they go back to it, and they keep clicking on and off. I'm like, I can't. I'm gonna have a seizure with all the back and forth with this.
I think that there should be a government mandated limit on how many announcements you get. I've actually been to the point, this was a couple weeks ago, where I almost started counting the announcements. I mean, some flights you'll have, I'm talking pre-hitting the air.
Sure.
It's like 25 announcements? 25 announcements? It's too many announcements.
Yeah.
We all get it. We're going to sit down and fucking go. I'm not working it.
I don't like the count. We're 12th in line. Buddy, you're just killing me now.
Yeah, and I don't care how breezy it is where we're going.
So it reminds me of that Brian Regan bit, one of my favorite Brian Regan bits. How the plane captain always listens to the tower. Tower says we're number 10 in line, but as you can see, I wish one would rebel. Tower says we're number 10 in line, but as you can see by the runway moving beneath us, I say we're number 1. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in trouble. You can come find me in the clouds.
Yeah, and the wind report is completely unnecessary. Weather in Dallas is 63 degrees with gusts out of the southeast. Like, what does that do for me?
Oh.
I'm going to the Marriott Courtyard. Do you think I need to know what the gusts are doing in Dallas?
I do like how some of the planes now have a camera on the tail, and you can watch the plane
those
fly.
are the new ones, yeah.
That's wicked. I'll watch that before I watch a movie.
My my in-laws were in town last week, and I think I've discussed before that...
You hate them?
No, they are...
You've actually never talked bad about your in-laws.
No.
You've only said positive things, which I think is a pretty...
No, they're very...
It's a pretty unique thing to have.
Very
to
lovely
hear.
people.
Yeah.
They are habitual luggage stuffers. And I think this is carried down to my wife, because she does the same thing now, where you leave for the airport, and in between you packing and you leaving, they and my wife will stuff your luggage with what they think you need on the flight.
Really?
So she'll be like, do you need any food? You should take breakfast. I'm like, I don't need anything. I definitely don't need anything. And then I'll get there and there'll be like a granola bar, an apple, an orange, like all these things that she stuffed into my bag.
You're not allowed to carry produce over state lines. You can get arrested for that.
Always stuffing stuff into my luggage. I'll be like, what is this? She goes, oh, I thought you needed a vitamin C packet and this and a mask and this. She'll just stuff things into my luggage. The funniest one that's ever happened was this trip. Her parents come into town and they start to undo their luggage and start to I'm seeing what's happening, that they're gonna stuff my luggage with stuff.
As they're unstuffing theirs.
Yeah.
They're taking their stuff to stuff you with.
They stuffed their luggage with stuff to stuff my luggage with.
Stuffing stuffers?
Stuffing stuffers of luggage. And I'm like, what? And I see it. I'm like, I'm in shock. It was a 5-pound bag of lentils, uncooked.
What?
5-pound bag of lentils that they took out of their bag and they were going to give to me.
Wait. Can I ask you a couple
Sure.
follow-ups? Where were they coming from?
California,
And where were you going?
Washington, D.C.
Why were okay? So what's their motive for bringing
I have no
uncooked
idea.
lentils from
Uncooked, like a
California?
5-pound bag of lentils.
Did they reach out to your wife and go, "Hey, do you guys sell lentils in New York City?"
There's a lot of things that got stuffed into their bag. So my comment was like, what am I going to do with a 5-pound bag
Wait,
of
they
lentils?
legitimately tried to give you lentils for
Lentils,
DC?
5-pound bag of lentils. 5-pound bag. You know how many lentils that is? I could serve a football team full of lentils.
You need 0 lentils while you're traveling.
I've gone lentilless my entire life and had no issues. I've never had one lentil. I've never been anywhere and be like, I could really use some dal right now, which is like Indian lentils.
You see the price of these lentils? I gotta get them.
So the kicker of the whole thing, which I see them doing it, and I think maybe they're doing it as a joke.
Sure.
So I see the 5-pound bag of lentils, and I start going on like a funny rant, which is I'm going off like this. What am I gonna do with these lentils? We're all joking, everyone's laughing, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with these lentils? I can't even cook them. I'm gonna be going to Washington D.C. in a hotel. It's not like I have a pressure cooker in my hotel.
Do you think I was gonna turn the iron upside down because I got lentils?
So I literally say this. That's what I said. I said, I'm going to Washington, D.C. How am I supposed to cook these lentils? It's not like I have a pressure cooker in Washington, D.C. And out of their bag comes a mini pressure cooker. I swear to God, they packed not even a new one from their home, a little teeny mini pressure cooker to cook the lentils in.
Been cooked. Been used lentil cooker.
Cooker from a 30-year-old mini pressure cooker lentil thing.
Do you have a pressure cooker at home?
No.
Okay.
I do now.
That's bizarre.
That was the plan.
That's old. That's like old. That's like
Old world.
boomer mentality.
That is old world
Yeah.
mentality. In their checked bag was a 5-pound bag of lentils and a pressure cooker to cook them in.
You know, if they didn't have the lentils, then people might have thought they were trying to pipe bomb somebody.
I don't even know you could travel with a
I
freaking
thought
pressure cooker.
cookers were on the no-fly list.
Well, it might be now.
Wow.
It was pretty incredible.
Yeah, you'll never be able to explain away a bag with a pressure cooker in it. Unless it's coming home from the store.
Unless there's the lentils next to it.
And you have a receipt. Or maybe
if
put a piece of tape around that says this is not a bomb.
I think that makes it more suspicious.
It might, yeah.
If I told DSA, listen, this pressure, man, it's hard to explain, but my in-laws they're Indian, and they wanted me to make dal in St. Louis.
So what happened? Did you bring the lentils?
No.
Okay. Were they upset?
No.
Okay.
But it was pretty funny.
So at this point now, it's a bit that you guys are doing.
It's a bit now. I don't know what she thought I was going to do with them. The last time that they luggage stuffed me was on their last trip, 4 softball size pomegranates from their home in a Ziploc bag. I went into my bag. I'm like, I don't remember my bag being this heavy. And then I opened up the front part of like my bag, 4 massive pomegranates that they grew off a tree at their house in California, brought them to New York, stuffed them in my bag, and then I had 4 massive pomegranates.
But thank God you didn't.
Not like the seeds, full pomegranates that I would have to open, knock out the seeds, and eat in my travels.
It's a good thing you didn't start doing this for a living before 2001. Because when they ask you, did anybody else pack your bag, and you say no, and then they find pomegranates, and you have no idea how they got there. That's how you get strip searched.
It's still a possibility.
That's crazy.
They don't ask that anymore? Has anyone else packed your bag? They do when you check in online. It's just like in the fine print.
Oh, is it? Oh, they used to ask you every time you went to the airport.
I think
maybe that's just for checked baggage.
For checked bags, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they still do in the fine print of the thing.
That's interesting.
But man, that was so funny. The lentils and the pressure cooker. I was rolling laughing. It was so funny. But they had a nice visit, which was nice. They visited. I know you had parentals in town too.
Yeah, I had a long week of my parents. First time they've ever been to my apartment since I moved out of the house at 18.
Never clean enough. It can never be clean enough.
You know, I think I've had enough arguments with my dad in the last couple of years where we've been butting heads pretty heavily to where he got the hint that I don't need him to nitpick.
Nitpicking, yeah.
And he was nothing but complimentary towards everything I was doing.
Of the home?
Of everything. He kept saying, "This is such a nice apartment." I'm
wow.
like,
okay.
But also the 39 years of the opposite, I can't even enjoy it because I'm like, you're just doing this because I fucking told you that it bothers me. Like there was it felt like there was a motive
He
behind
was
it.
looking at the central AC being like, oh, he's rich.
He might have been genuine. I believe he was genuine, but there was still a part of me that couldn't accept it. I didn't let him know because I was like, he's trying, and I love that. But it was built up, it was built up calluses of emotional calluses that made me just like question.
There's something about parents in New York City that just it never feels right. Like when my mom came to visit me, and she came and walked through my East Village apartment.
Mm-hmm.
There was such a disconnect of my mother being in New York City and being in the East Village.
Yeah.
It felt like I was 19 and she was walking through my college dorm.
Yeah.
Like everything was like, she's like, you live here all the time? Like this is it? It's just like, there's something about parents in New York City that just doesn't match up. And clearly there are parents who live here, but like parents visiting their kids, it always seems smaller and like, it's like you're living in a college dorm room.
Parents, it's not often that you hear about parents moving to New York as
Parents.
grown kid parents, you know?
No way. No way.
My mom like can't walk hardly. She's was in a bad car accident a long time ago, and she still can barely. So she has to walk backwards downstairs because her feet don't bend. So it's like everything's. But she wants to do the New York stuff. So she wants to get on the train. She wants to walk around
Experience
the neighborhood, but she doesn't. It's just not good for her, unfortunately.
Yeah. If my mom called me and she goes, yeah, we're we're really considering coming and moving to the West Village, I'd be like, what's going on? Did my mom have a coke habit?
Did that happen?
No.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you would never, like, my mom would never call me and be like, yeah, we're leaving.
Gay man?
You just never hear that.
My parents are talking about staying at our apartment for a good part of January because me and my girlfriend are going to be in Asia for some stuff. May hit Tokyo because of the Jigster. But we're doing like a trip for a couple of weeks, and so they might stay at our apartment.
Does that freak you out?
No, I think it's fine. I mean, what do I got there that I'm going to find my weed? Cool.
No, I don't know. It's just like.
No, I'm saying like what 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I would have been worried because it's despicable the way I was living. But they might stay, so they might have like a couple of weeks of just being in New York, which I wish I have a little doggy camera.
Oh, you can just watch them.
I might put the doggy camera so I can see what they're up to.
Oh, look, they're getting Chinese takeout. They're really adapting.
That'll be 3 times a day. If it's up to my dad, he's going to get nothing but Chinese takeout.
I love Chinese takeout.
And then pasta. That's all he wants to do.
I missed it. I know. I had so many. We were just on a run of shows through the Southwest U.S., which was like, I've spent the least amount of time in the Southwest than anywhere in the country. That maybe Pacific Northwest, a little about the same. But man, you talk about like great food. I was loving it down there. Arizona, New Mexico. We went to Albuquerque, Tucson, and Amarillo, which is like North Texas, next to New Mexico. Dude, the chili game out there is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Everything is you want. Red or green chili. Red or green chili. Everything is on red or green chilies. The red chili burrito I had is a burrito smothered in this red chili sauce. Bro, it was so good. The chili game down there is unbelievable. The Southwest food is so good. I had some of the best meals of my life.
Every food that you bring up so far in the last couple of episodes has been some sort of like soup covered food, chili covered burger, chili covered fries, sloppers, poppers, croppers. They've all been some sort of just drowning food. That makes me happy.
Unbelievable food in Albuquerque. Oh my goodness! I went to this place. I don't even know the name of it. It was like a taqueria thing. I don't know. Got this red chili sauce. It was so tasty. Like it was hot, but like it tasted like fresh chili. I don't know. That's not really descriptive, but it was very, very, very good.
I think northern Mexico, southwest America United States, that food I think is very underrated because like
Oh, it's delicious.
Like-
It's delicious.
Tex-Mex, all these like mixtures of those the two areas I think is some of the best combinations of food.
Well, I think that food in particular on a national level has been dumbed down in so many levels, like
Taco
literally
Bell.
like Chili's,
Yeah.
Taco Bell, these like fast casual or Taco Bell literally kind of just took the concept and made it worse
Oh, you're absolutely right.
or like not fresh. So like when you get like a fresh version of like a real chili sauce, I mean it was like mind-blowingly good. And Amarillo, which I didn't realize, is home of the Big Texan. You ever hear about that restaurant?
Is that like a
They're famous for their 72-ounce
There it
steak
is.
challenge, and it's been on every single food show. I've been looking at this place in my
steak
subconscious
ranch? Big Texan steak
Yes.
ranch?
for 20 years. I've seen people eating this place.
This looks like a movie set.
It looks like a movie set.
That's
It's like
not a
very
real place.
campy, cheeky steak place. But man, how much fun it is! It's like the Disney World of steak restaurants. They got like a shooting gallery in there. They got like there's a little motel you can stay in. It literally looks like a movie set. And the food was so good.
Could you imagine staying at the all you can eat steak hotel?
I kicked it around.
It just sounds like kind of right up my alley.
Their whole gimmick is if you eat a 72-ounce steak, baked potato, side dish, a shrimp, I think that's it, in 1 hour, you get it for free.
Yeah, see,
And
that's-
you do it in front of everyone. So they have like a table that's almost like a stage, and when we were there, 2 kids tried to do it. Failed. But
miserably, I'm sure.
the next day, a guy did it in like 7 minutes.
When you went back to eat there again,
No, the next day. I actually saw it on my on Instagram. If you look up on SportsCenter, they actually put it on SportsCenter. A guy on the SportsCenter Instagram page, a guy at the Big Texan ate that whole thing in 7 minutes.
I mean,
Incredible.
what did this guy look like?
He was like a regular, I mean, probably a competitive eater, but you would never know that he was slamming down beef like that. I mean, I had a 16-ounce steak, and people were, and like, I was really full after 16 ounces.
Was this recently?
This was 2 days ago. Oh, are you saying for the
I'm
Sports
looking
Center
for the
thing?
Sports Center.
Go to
thing.
Sports Center's Instagram.
I'm on it right now.
It posted yesterday, I believe. Unless my phone was listening to me and it was from like 9 months ago. But it like appeared on my thing yesterday.
It's not popping, but I'm sure it's there. I believe you. Oh, there he is.
You see him? 7 minutes and like 30 seconds or something.
Made each 72-ounce steak in 6 minutes and 28 seconds.
Wow.
A Big Texan Steak Ranch. The second fastest time in history?
Yeah, there was a
Someone
girl.
did it faster?
A girl did it in like 4 minutes and 20 seconds, which I can't even.
The chef
fathom.
is behind the guy just shaking his head like this. Is
I know, he's shaking his head. I actually saw that guy. That guy was our chef too.
That was the day after you were there.
Yeah.
Well, this
we
guy
just
looks
missed
like
it.
a fighter.
He looks like a UFC guy.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
But the food was really good.
James Webb.
Legend. Slamming
That's the
beef.
guy's name.
Slamming beef.
You know you got to be doing something on eating beef if Sports Center is
Sports
putting
Center
it up.
picking up. It was a sport.
It's turning into Sports Center ESPN 8 The Ocho, you know? It's starting to turn into that
Sports Center has lost a little bit.
weird world of sports.
Yeah, Sports Center started doing that, or ESPN in general was just basically like, let's get eyeballs, forget about the highlights. Not on TV as much, but definitely on socials. Like they'll post anything. Like if you got if you hit a ping pong into someone's mouth, they'll post it up on their thing.
Have you ever seen that? There's a docuseries on Netflix called We Are the Champions.
No.
I think Rainn Wilson produced it and focused it. It's basically like weird sport competitions
Stuff.
that are massive, like cheese rolling, where they take
What's
these
that?
giant wheels of cheese in the farmlands of England, and people run after the cheese, and the first person to get to the bottom of the hill.
Oh, they run down the hill? I've seen that.
But then people are like snapping their collarbones, and like their arms are being like flipped backwards.
And there's also it's like rocky soil. It doesn't look like it's like
It's not a
competitive slope.
No. Then they have chili eating, yo-yo competitions, dog dancing, frog leaping. These are all competitions that are like heavily historical competitions.
Speaking of which, you saw that we won our softball game. You did not attend.
I was not
yesterday.
there. No,
We
but
beat
you
the
were
best
there.
team in the league. Yeah,
You were there.
we beat the best team in the league.
No,
yesterday.
we didn't.
They were.
They lost to the best team in the league.
Oh, there
See?
you go.
Got to have the right
Mahalo to
mentality
that.
there, Jig.
But I want to win the softball games. I like to be out there and be competitive, and
Yeah.
and I definitely want to be there to win.
Sure.
But there's like this thing going on where like people are like screaming at each other at these games and yelling at the ref and the umpire.
Who was umping, Mike or
No, the guy who used to play.
the sharp-jawed man? What's his name?
Yeah.
Keith? Kevin
Keith.
Eric? Keith, something
Keith.
like that, yeah.
He played him. He's the one who bulldozed me last year. Remember that?
Yeah. It's so funny.
Last year, I was playing second base, and I go to catch a ball from like the shortstop, like a force out at second, where like you turn a double play, that type of thing. And this guy who is now an umpire just doesn't slide into second base and just bulldozes me at second base. Like, and I think I got mildly concussed.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of like messed me up. Anyway, he's an umpire now. But like, people are screaming at these games for calls. I mean, it's like a Monday afternoon softball game, and they're screaming at it. Like, and when the ball hits the tree, it's supposed to be a foul ball, and it's like, umpire's discretion. They're talking about hearing the leaves, and like, it's like, relax, dude. I get a little secondhand embarrassment when people start screaming at the umpire.
It's gross. It's gross behavior.
It's just, who cares?
Half the people are high. You know what I mean? Like, people are smoking and drinking.
Just relax,
before and after these games. Like, it's everyone calm down. This is underhand co-ed softball.
Yeah, and there's like kids in the park watching. Like, we had someone get home run yesterday and called out at the plate, and the ball beat him to the plate, and there's all this dust and everything else. And it's not like Keith is like a professional major league umpire.
No,
The ball beat him to the plate, and then they're screaming at him. They're screaming at Keith, the umpire, of like, he missed a tag. He never tagged me. It's like, who cares?
that happened to me when I hit what should have been an in the park home run. I should have hit a home run, but I'm fat and slow. And then I play at the plate. I'm not sliding. I'd break every fucking
Yeah.
tendon in my leg, and I bulldozed the guy. And Keith was like, "You're like, even if you were safe, you were out because you didn't slide." I was like, "All right, man, cool.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't care. I drove a run. I don't care."
Yeah, it was yesterday. It was extra innings, so the stakes were a little higher. We already got one run to go ahead, but then he called him out and slamming his hat on the thing and swearing, and everyone's swearing at that guy. And I'm just like, guys, there's
that
4
big a
teams in the league.
Yeah,
Who cares?
I love we're number one out of what?
Out of what?
2.
These are a collection of guys playing softball between the ages of like 24 and 75 years old in a league of like 6 teams on Mondays in the spring.
It's crazy.
No
right?
one cares.
It's crazy.
It's too much. Plus, like, there's no we are the best of anything. There's like 15 different softball leagues. Even if you were the number one in this league, chances are you're not going to be the number one of all of New York City. There's like 100 or 200 different softball teams. You're just coming out there to have a good time.
It's
Relax
nice.
about
Yeah.
the friggin' softball.
My favorite was though when Tony Danza was pitching for the musicians. Used to have a team, the Musicians Union.
They don't have a team this year.
No, they have an early team. They don't have 2 teams now. They used to have 2, but he was on the early team, and I used to come out and watch him, and it was so fun because he gets so serious. He had his assistant there throw him a towel and like take his glove from him every time he got. It was weird.
I think
But it was
Ray
really
Romano
cool to
used to
see.
be on our team, didn't he?
Ray Romano, Larry David, Jerry Seinfeld. There was a lot of legendary comedians because our team used to be the Improv. And then when they closed, Gotham took over the sponsorship of the team. But, there's been a lot of... Mike Albanese played on that team.
Oh,
Guy's
Big
a
Mike?
legend.
Large Mike?
Large Mike. When I first started, it was really not fun.
Why, too competitive?
Well, because there were so many jackasses on the team that took it too seriously. And, like, I've quit the team more than once. And I've told Tom, I'm like, hey, man, had fun. I don't think I'm coming back. It's just things are getting weird. And he goes, is it because this, and this guy? I'm like, yeah, I didn't want to put it out there, but yeah. He's like, all right, well, they're gone, so you can come back. not because of me. I
Just
wasn't
in
like
general,
the
yeah.
catalyst because he was. I think a lot of people were bitching about these guys.
Too much, man.
There was one guy that would run from right field to left field to catch a ball and steal it out of a guy's hand, and he'd be like, "You wouldn't have caught it anyway, pussy." Like it was some real weird shit. It's like, all right, dude.
Too much. I think our team is full of a lot of good guys, though.
Now
Like,
it's fun.
yeah,
I'm actually having a great time.
I think we have a good team. Like everyone seems to be
No, it's a good time.
like good guys. The only thing that I wish we had a little more of, which I haven't helped, is a little post or pregame camaraderie. Like we don't go to the bar and grab a drink or anything like that.
We should start that.
I think we should too.
Or just bring some beers. Let's start it by bringing some beers, and so it's very low friction.
You crack one in the afternoon. It's nice. I don't think anyone's going to work after this.
I mean, sometimes I come in here and do a podcast, but I go take a shower. Things are fresh.
Low stakes.
I shower over at the gym on the way over here. I feel great. It's a blast.
I love a post-game shower is the best. But yeah, we won that game yesterday, which felt pretty good. And then back out this week in Midland, Texas, and Corpus Christi, Texas, followed up by Canada, ending this run in Canada. So 4 shows in Canada. And then coming up this summer, Taste Funny Weekend, which is going to be, that's kind of like the big thing of the summer. I know a lot of people who are listening are going to be there. And yeah, if you're looking to attend or you got questions about Taste Funny Weekend, you can shoot me a DM on Instagram. But it's going to be lots of fun putting together all the final touches. It's going to be great.
I've heard some of the touches, and I'm very excited. Like I'm very excited to go back. This is my second year. I would have gone back regardless. But I don't know what you've announced. But I think you know the thing I'm talking about.
I think so.
Yeah. Have you announced that?
I don't know. We'll have to talk about it after.
Right.
I have one surprise I want to keep as a surprise.
All right. I think this is the surprise.
Yeah.
But it's my favorite. I don't care what happens. I'm just going just for this.
It should be fun. But yeah, I think we released like maybe 3 or 4 more tickets. If you're looking to come, definitely
3 or 4?
Yeah, that's it. We just don't have room.
That's great.
Yeah. So the space that we have is like perfect for what we do for a festival of this size, but there's not much wiggle room to go bigger. So I think it's a good thing. Like I'd rather have like maximum for the space that we have, and then maybe next year we try to grow it or whatever we do. But yeah, there's like just a few tickets left.
That's great.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Until next week, mahalo, deuces. Thanks for tuning in. That's it. That's all she wrote. Episode 19 in the books. Is it 19? Yeah, I think so. Whatever.